ये गढ़ी गई है। रिजाल इब्न इदारी में लिखा गया है कि वादा किताब
इब्न गज़ायरी की बात ना करो, इब्न गज़ायरी खुद मजहूल है और उसकी कोई अहमियत है ही नहीं।
But if you look at the likes of Ayatollah Sistani, for example, Ayatollah Sistani ultimately has lived a life, at least publicly, has lived a life where one could say that it's as close to being ma'soom as possible. Now someone says, what do you mean? Why do I say that? I don't think anyone could put a black dot on his character. Yes, humans, if they want to find a black dot, humans can put anything out of context. If today I said God is God, people can take that out of context. True? Humans can take anything out of context. But you look at Ayatollah Sistani, and truly all these years, in the middle of all the upheavals, all the troubles, all the difficulties, you find that he still is somebody who has impeccability. I ask the question, if someone like him can reach a level in their life where you find it hard to find a black dot on them, Allah couldn't create 14 who lived their whole lives without a black dot on them? Today when a person says, are you sure the Imams are ma'soom? Buddy, I've got an example of someone who's lived at least 75, 80% good. Allah couldn't create 14 ma'soomin who could be impeccable? Is it that hard for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
No, as in we've laid it out for the Awam Nas. If the Awam Nas now, we put the research there. I think the last part of our research now, Sayyid, that would go miles ahead now so that everyone would benefit is if we're saying the mabna of Sayyid Sistani, because in, as you know, the people that want to confuse issues, what they'll say is, oh, no, we don't accept Rijal Al Ghadairi because, as we know, this is the only way to kind of get out of the situation now. So for Sayyid Sistani, who's the grand marja of the whole Shia world, who's known as the most learned in our time, in his mabna, I've heard and studied that he says that it's more reliable and it's given fawqiyah, it's given precedence on even Najashi. So if you want to present Sistani and also Sistani's research on Rijal Al Ghadairi of why Rijal Al Ghadairi is authentic, I think that will be the best way to basically clear up that, hold on, Sistani accepts Rijal Al Ghadairi and he's got his research on it, and that's basically that. Then it's kind of slam dunk.
Exactly. You see, the problem with Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi was in the beginning, in the time of Sayyid al-Khu'i, not enough research had been done on it. And so what was popular in the time of Sayyid al-Khu'i is that they were unable to locate authentication for Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi. So they were not sure if they could rely on Ibn al-Ghadairi or not, because they were having problems identifying authentic chains of transmission for it. And that's why Sayyid al-Sistani, in volume 1 of his Mu'jam Rijal al-Hadith wa Tafsil Tabaqat al-Ruwat, he very frankly wrote, he said, Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi is not established. We don't have proof to establish its authenticity. This much is okay. This much is also known to a lot of people. The problem is, and I've seen this in research papers written by Federation scholars, as I told you, there was that research paper written on Ziyarat Ashura. They mention this part. They say, see, Sayyid al-Khu'i has discredited Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi, and he has mentioned that we don't have proof of its authenticity. What these scholars don't know is that Sayyid al-Khu'i, his stance and his opinion was based on inferior research, because he didn't have the resources. After Sayyid al-Khu'i, his student, Ayatollah al-Uzma Sayyid Ali al-Husayni Sistani, he continued the research and he was able to find even higher degree of proof as far as authenticity is concerned for Ibn al-Ghadairi, to the point that he placed it on a higher pedestal than even Rijal al-Najashi, which was what Sayyid al-Khu'i used to mainly rely on and consider as the most authoritative work. Now, where is the proof of this? This has been documented in books. I'm very grateful to Al-Islah admins for providing us with the whole encyclopedia of Sayyid Sistani, and also for making this very important, crucial book available for us, so that we can show it to the general public.
We are Al-Islah, Sayyid. We're Al-Dalil on Al-Islah. We bring the proof. We don't just talk. We bring the proof with it.
Absolutely, and we everything is documented and well referenced, and we're showing you the books. There is no sleight of hand. There is no trick that's being played on you.
This ain't no majlis on the member. This is a research session.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We're bringing you the most cutting edge and reliable books that have been authored by some of the greatest scholars in the Hawza. This book is authored by Al-Allama Sheikh Hussein Muhammad Ali Al-Fadili, who is a great admirer of Ayatollah Sistani and associated with his Marja'iyah. He's written this book, Al-Imam Sistani Ummatun fi Rajul. Imam Sistani, a one-man ummah. It's a book that has...
One-man army.
One-man army, one-man ummah. Yeah, he's an institution unto himself. So if you come to page 71 of this book, here you have an article that's a research paper, rather, that's written by, it's entitled Sira wa Masira Umma fi Rajul Al-Marji' al-Dini al-A'la Ayatollah al-Uzma al-Imam al-Sayyid Ali al-Husayni Sistani. This is the title of the paper. One ummah in a man, one ummah embodied in a man, biqalami ahadi talamidatihi. This is by one of his close students. One of the students of Sayyidi Sistani has written this article. It starts from page 71. And if you come to page 79 of this article, this is the key part. The student of Sayyidi Sistani mentions, وَلَهُ آرَاءٌ خَاصَّةٌ يُخَالِفُ بِهَا الْمَشْهُورِ. Sayyidi Sistani has certain opinions, certain research-based stances which oppose the popular opinions within contemporary Shi'i scholarship. Such as, for example...
Please tell us, please tell us.
For example, مَا اشْتَهَرَ مِنْ عَدَمِ الْإِعْتِمَادِ بِقَدْحِ ابْنِ الْغَضَائِرِ. For example, it became very popular among Shia scholarship to not rely on the discrediting of Ibn al-Ghadairi. Let me make this large so that everyone can see.
Yes, yes.
It had become very popular, especially after Sayyid al-Khuy, who was the grand marja of his time. After he mentioned that we have not found proof of authenticity for Ibn al-Ghadairi, the scholars started to make this position popular, that Ibn al-Ghadairi's Rijal is not an authentic book. So he says that Sayyidi Sistani has research-based stances that go against what's popular regarding the discrediting of Ibn al-Ghadairi. إما لكثرة قدحه أو لعدم ثبوت نسبة الكتاب إليه. He says there are two main reasons why it became popular among Shia scholars to say that Ibn al-Ghadairi is a book that we should not rely on. Why? Number one, لكثرة قدحه, because of the extremely large number of narrators whom Ibn al-Ghadairi slaughters and basically discredits. Okay, and those narrators are crucial for proving, certain core Shia pro-ghulu beliefs.
Again, just a point. Believe in something first, look for the proof later. Same thing.
Exactly. And when the proof does not side with you, you try to attack the proof.
You change the mabna.
You change the mabna, exactly. So, إما لكثرة قدحه أو لعدم ثبوت نسبة الكتاب إليه. So some scholars were having problems with Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi because it discredits too many narrators, and others were having problem with it because they did not have proof of reliable transmission. They did not have proof that the book of Ibn al-Ghadairi is reliable and authentic. فَإِنَّ سَيِّدَنَا الْأُسْتَاذ لَا يَرْتَضِي ذَلِكَ. He says, but that was until Sayyid Sistani assumed the Marji'iyah. After Sayyidina al-Ustad, our master, our teacher, Sayyid Sistani came to the center stage, he made it clear that he is not satisfied with what is popular. He does not accept the popular view that Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi should not be relied upon or that it is not a trustworthy book. بَلْ يَرَى ثُبُوتَ الْكِتَابِ. Sayyid Sistani, on the contrary, he considers this book to be established. He considers this book to be genuine and bona fide. وَإِنَّ ابْنَ الْغَضَائِرِ هُوَ الْمُعْتَمَدِ فِي مَقَامِ الْجَرْحِ وَالتَّعْدِيلِ. He maintains, Sayyidi Sistani maintains, that Ibn al-Ghadairi is the ultimate authority, the ultimate reliable authority in as far as jarh and ta'dil, yani ilm al-rijal, as far as authenticating and discrediting narrators is concerned. Sayyidi Sistani considers Ibn al-Ghadairi to be the ultimate and foremost supreme authority.
Oh.
أكثر من النجاشي. This is the point you were mentioning, Sayyid Raza, that he considers him أكثر من النجاشي, even more than النجاشي, whom Sayyid al-Khuy used to refer to as خريت صنعة الرجال, as the ultimate expert and authority in Ilm al-Rijal. Sayyid Sistani begs to differ. He says, no, we have a scholar of Rijal who is even more authoritative and even more expert in Ilm al-Rijal than al-Najashi himself, and also a Sheikh. By Sheikh he means a Sheikh al-Tusi wa amthalihima. So he considers al-Najashi to be superior in terms of authoritativeness to both al-Najashi and al-Tusi and also other scholars like them. وَيَرَى الْإِعْتِمَادَ عَلَى مَنْهَجِ الطَّبَقَاتِ. And he believes in following the methodology of tabaqat, in identifying the rawi and in authenticating him, and in finding out whether a hadith is musnad or mursal, the way his teacher Sayyid al-Burujirdi had established. So this Maulana, this is a reference from the book by a top student of Sayyid Sistani affirming this idea. And apart from this, I can also show you his website.
Okay, yeah, on his on his website, yeah.
On his official website. See, this is, let me show this to you, sistani.org.
No, are you sure that's not some made up Al-Islam website?
No, this is sistani.org. I will ask the admins to paste the URL in the description so that viewers can basically go and visit this page themselves.
The next thing Al-Islam is going to be accused of making up websites as well.
Come on, we cannot afford to do that. See, there, every show that you do, the Qummis, our learned Qummi friends, resident alims, everyone was watching this. So
fair enough.
We know that we cannot afford to, make up stuff. I mean, we will get roasted and ripped apart.
On the battlefield, you don't slip. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the link, the URL, www.sistani.org/Arabic/data/1. It's basically the first page of the website, which has a Sirah Zatiyah. It has his biography. It has his ijazas of ijtihad, and this one issued by Al-Allama Sheikh Hussein Al-Hilli, the one issued by Sayyid Al-Khu'i. And then when it comes to his contribution, his manhaj in research and teaching, there are points that are mentioned. And point number 5, you can see he mentions the importance of Ilm al-Rijal. Ilm al-Rijal, Sayyid Sistani believes, is fannun daruriyun. It is extremely important to master Ilm al-Rijal for the mujtahid. لتحصيل الوثوق الموضوعي التام بصلاحية المدرك. Because Ilm al-Rijal is crucial to determining whether narrations and texts that we have are authentic or not.
This is why, essentially, if the Shia public, the scholars from the members, and even the scholars on top, if they just applied that Rijali methodology, even that would make a big difference.
100%. They would not be able to narrate 95% of the narrations that they present to you from the Mimbar, from Al-Kafi, from Bihar al-Anwar, which they use to prove all the ghulu beliefs, whether it be that Imams of Ilm al-Ghayb, whether it be that they have Wilaya Takwiniya, whether it be that they have supernatural powers to perform miracles, whether it be that they were causing lions to jump out of carpets, all the khurafat that you hear from the Mimbar, if you apply the methodology of Ibn al-Ghadairi, all of that goes into the dustbin, because Ibn al-Ghadairi played a very big role in exposing the ghulat and the fabricators of hadith who specialized in lying against the imams.
If you don't have that in a majlis, what are we going to listen to?
No, but this is where we need reform. We need to reform the mindset of the public as well. You see, just as we want to bring the public to the level of Abdul Razzaq, that early Shia who could not tolerate to hear false fabricated stuff in his majlis. I think
100%.
If our audience also develops this ability, this heightened sense of sensitivity, that this is the Mimbar of Rasulullah, we should not be promoting lies about Ahlul Bayt from it, especially the kind of lies that have the potential to create fitna in the ummah, to create disunity, to fuel sectarian tensions. If the public were to simply develop this mindset, I believe that would go a very long way in preventing people from presenting narrations from Kitab Sulaim bin Qais from the Mimbar.
If someone from our Salaf like Ibn Kibbar Razi came back today, what would he, if he saw us on the Mimbar and our scholars, he would be like, what sect is this?
What sect is this? Sheikh Abdullah al-Mamqani is actually very frank. In Tanqih al-Maqal fi Ilm al-Rijal, he actually says that if the classical scholars of Qum were to come today in Qum itself or Najaf, they would drive out. They would drive out all the scholars. Before the public, they would drive out the scholars and the maraj. Yeah, because those. Yeah, that's not my statement. That's Ayatollah Sheikh Abdullah al-Mamqani's statement.
Disclaimer, don't blame us. Blame Bamaqani. Simple as that.
Yeah. We actually we have covered this statement in one of the very first lectures of Al-Islah. We actually showcased the reference, the page number, volume.
Bamaqani, you showed it. You've got that 100%.
Yeah. So this is his official website, Sayyid Sistani, and you see here what is mentioned. It says, for example, it has become very popular not to rely on the discreditings of Ibn al-Ghadairi. Again, because of those two reasons, that he discredits too many narrators and there were issues with transmission of his book. But Sayyid al-Ustad does not accept this. Rather, بَلْ يَرَى ثُبُوتَ الْكِتَابِ, he accepts that the book is sabit, it is established. وَأَنَّ ابْنَ الْغَضَائِرِ هُوَ الْمُعْتَمَدِ, and Ibn al-Ghadairi is the one who is the ultimate reliable authority فِي مَقَامِ الْجَرْحِ وَالتَّعْدِيلِ, in the matter of authenticating and discrediting narrators. The ultimate authority and the most reliable authority is Ibn al-Ghadairi. أكثر من النجاشي, more than al-Najashi, whom Sayyid al-Khuy used to extensively rely on. And أكثر من الشيخ also, more than Sheikh al-Tusi, and their likes. So this is his official website. And if you want, I can also show you basically, so this is the opinion. How did Sayyid al-Sistani authenticate these books?
How did he get there?
How did he arrive at this opinion?
You're going to go even, you're saying, I'm not only going to give you Sayyid Sistani saying it has spoke here, I'm going to give you the research that proves what's his proof behind accepting the book as well.
Exactly. And that proof has been covered in this book. Once again, I'm very grateful to Al-Islah admins for providing us with these books so that we can showcase them for the public. Yeah. This is a very important book, Qabasat min Ilm al-Rijal, which is Abhath al-Sayyid Muhammad Ridha Sistani. Sayyid Muhammad Ridha Sistani is the eldest son of Sayyid Sistani. And he is a mujtahid. And many have been suggesting that he is most likely to succeed Sayyid Sistani as the next marja.
He's the Khalifa.
He's the Khalifa. Some indeed maintain that. Others would say Sheikh Muhammad Baqir al-Irwani is more learned. Others would say Sayyid Riyad al-Hakim and others. But he's also one of the contenders. Okay. And there is no doubt he's a very learned mujtahid. He's studied under his father, of course. And so this is his book, Qabasat min Ilm al-Rijal. These are his Rijali researches.
Okay.
And this is volume 2 of that book. And in this book, you see this is the first edition. Dar al-Mu'arrikh al-Arabi, Beirut. That's the first edition. It was published in 1437 Hijri, 2016. So it came out in 2016. And if you come to page 67 rather. Sorry, 67. Yeah, here you have Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi. And here he says there are two issues. Number one, صحة انتساب كتاب الضعفاء إلى أحمد ibn al-Husayn ibn Ubaydillah al-Ghadairi. The first question he says that needs to be discussed is the authenticity of the attribution of Kitab al-Du'afa, which is also known as Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi, to the author Ahmad ibn al-Husayn ibn Ubaydillah al-Ghadairi. That's the first question. And the second question is في حجية تضعيفاته وسائر آرائه الرجالية. What is the probative value? What is the authoritativeness of his discreditings? Yani when Ibn al-Ghadairi discredits a narrator, can we take that seriously? Can we accept that? Because some scholars, they have a hard time accepting his discreditings, yeah, because he's discrediting some of the most notorious ghulat who are crucial to supporting some of the narratives of the sect. So he then goes on to, so this is page 67, and this is a really long research paper that spans around 27 pages.
Wow.
You can see how well referenced it is. This would require a whole separate lecture to just explain the various different proofs that Sayyid Muhammad Ridha Sistani brings as per the Mabani of Sayyid Sistani, his father, in order to prove that the transmission and the chain of the book Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi is not just perfectly authentic, it is even more authentic than the transmission of Rijal al-Tusi and Rijal al-Najashi.
So if you're going to reject Rijal Al Ghadairi, you might as well reject them too as well then.
Well, then you might reject Ilm al-Rijal, lock, stock and barrel. There's no Ilm al-Rijal left if you reject these books. You might as well reject Rijal al-Kashi while you're at it. Yeah, so basically this research paper goes on until page 94. You find he concludes it and he says وهكذا يتجلى أن جميع ما نوقش به صحة انتساب كتاب الضعفاء إلى ابن الغضائر أو في حجية تضعيفاته مما لا يمكن المساعدة عليه والله العالم. He says, and this is how it becomes absolutely clear that all the points that have been brought to question or create doubts about the authenticity of the provenance of Kitab al-Du'afa and its attribution to Ibn al-Ghadairi, and also all the doubts and questions that have been raised about the probative value of the discreditings of Ibn al-Ghadairi. All of these points and these arguments are such that we cannot support them because they are untenable, they are invalid. And he has invalidated them in this 27-page research paper, which you can see is extremely well referenced. Inshallah, if I get the opportunity, I want to do a separate lecture explaining.
This one deserves dikka, like this one deserves individual precisionness on each kind of point, precision on each point.
Definitely, and this is not the only book where he showcases this. As you can see, this is another book by him, Wasail al-Injab al-Sina'iyya, Dirasa Fiqhiyya. Okay, this is his book on ART, or assisted reproductive technologies, okay, which basically deals with fertility treatments in which either eggs or embryos are, handled. They're surgically removed from the woman, and then they're made to interact with the sperm, and then return back to the So basically, this is it's in 694 pages. It's a detailed fiqh discussion, and in this book, if you go to, for example, this is also published by Dar al-Mu'arrikh al-Arabi, Beirut, Lebanon, and it is the second edition, which was published in 1428 AH, the year 2007, Dar al-Mu'arrikh al-Arabi. And if you come here to page 589, you have the 7th appendix, Al-Malhaq al-Sabi' Hawla Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi. And again, you have that same research through which he proves the authenticity of the transmission of Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi, as well as the probative force and value of the discreditings of Ibn al-Ghadairi. So basically, this goes from page 589, it goes up to page 620, is where this particular section ends. And he ends by concluding that Rijal ibn al-Ghadairi is perfectly authentic. And so that should explain to you why Sayyid Sistani authenticates the book and regards it to be so supremely reliable, even more so than the Rijal of Sheikh al-Tusi and Rijal of al-Najashi.